Huwag yung kayong magkadisgrasyahan tayo niyan. Sinasabi ko madidisgrasya kayo. At madidisgrasya kayo. Hindi ako urong dito. And I said, I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps. Welcome sa regular press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Roque. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pilipinas, and good morning to the ladies and gentlemen of the Malacañang Press Corps. There is a ceremonial reenactment of the signing of the BOL on August 6 at 3:45. Now, we have also submitted, or the Presidential Legislative Liaison Office has transmitted yesterday to the Office of the Senate President and the House Speaker the administration's version of the bill creating the Department of Disaster Resilience, or DDR. The bill is anchored in government's experience with previous disasters, among them Super Typhoon Yolanda, and guided by President Duterte's leadership principles. The bill is envisioned to have a sole focus on natural hazards and disasters. It shall be guided by a disaster resilience framework that will deliver on three key areas: disaster risk reduction, disaster preparedness and response, and recovery and building forward better. The bill is a product of interagency work building on the salient points of the pending bills in Congress. Once passed into law, the creation of the department will be a significant step towards attaining safe, adaptive, and disaster-resilient communities by leading efforts to reduce the risk of natural hazards and the effects of climate change. On the terrorist attack in Basilan, we condemn in the strongest possible terms the latest terrorist attack in Basilan perpetrated in violation of our laws. We note that even in times of war, the attack constitutes a war crime because it constitutes an indiscriminate attack, which is prohibited by Article 4C1, attacks on civilian, by RA 9851, IHL Act of 2009. Good news on electronic exports. For the month of May, electronic exports grew by 2.29%, amounting to $3.13 billion compared to US $3.06 billion in May 2017, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. Electronics are still the country's top export products at $3.13 billion, contributing more than 54.38% of the country's total exports of US $5.76 billion. Among those products, semiconductors had the largest share at 39.9%. Questions?
Raymond Tenasa, Bombo Radio.
Sir, good noon. Sir, the Disaster Management Department will effectively dissolve the existing National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, right?
Yes.
So what would be the primary aim of this? I mean, considering that in NDRMC, it is composed of the DSWD, the Defense Department, the Department of Health. So in the new department, do we aim to get away from these departments that in one way or the other, minsan parang they do not work in sync with each other?
This is consistent with what the President said even on Marawi, no? Ayaw niya yung mga committee, no? Gusto niya someone is in charge. And the President made this very clear when the proposed bill was presented in the last cabinet meeting, no? So, of course, the bill adopted what the President wants. Only one person is in charge, although inevitably, there will have to be interagency work because the line agencies do still have their mandates, no? But there will be one person calling the shots in case of disasters.
So what about the budget? So the department will have its own budget and it will not rely on the budget from its department involved.
Well, yes, insofar as a new department would entail new budgetary allocation, but no in the sense that the budget of the other line agencies could also be tapped, no, in case of major disasters to supplement the budget of the proposed department.
So that's the only, the only realistic difference, that there will be one head in charge of the disaster management.
That's a big difference because during the time of Yolanda, former Secretary of DILG Marojas, no, kept on repeating, no one's in charge, no one is in charge, because under the current setup, no one is in charge.
Thank you, sir.
May follow-up? Other issue, a follow-up, Ina Andolong.
Sir, I'm sorry, but isn't the NDRRMC head, I mean, isn't he serving that purpose?
Well, I do not know, but I saw that actually, that TV footage. No? I think the problem is they're supposed to be consultative. So what they do is they consult, and when there's a natural disaster and there's no one to consult with anyone, there's paralysis. No? So this time, there's someone in charge.
Other issue, Joseph Morong.
Sir, yung sa Basilan, are we calling it a... No, muna. Why did you highlight that it's a war crime?
It's an indiscriminate attack. No? It's a fact that Basilan, of course, is an area with a non-international armed conflict, and there's already a domestic law on international humanitarian law. So under IHL, you must limit your attacks pursuant to military objective, you must limit it to military targets, and you must avoid protected individuals, including civilians.
Okay, so how does this fit with the president's statement that he wants to talk to the Abusaya? First off, is the palace established that the ESG is behind this?
We do not know who's
Yes.
behind it yet. They're still investigating.
So premature pa yung question whether...
And of course, yesterday I clarified that the president, of course, is enjoining individual fighters of the ESG to surrender, no, because they can still be accommodated as surrenderies, no, in the same way that we're accepting surrenderies from the NPA and the MILF.
Okay, sir, muna.
Follow-up? Other issue, follow-up, Raymond Tinasa.
So parang hindi ba ito parang insulto doon sa intelligence community natin considering na it happened na ngayon it's the 60th anniversary of the National Security Council and the 69th anniversary of NICA.
I do not know if it's an insult. It shouldn't have happened. It's illegal use of force, even in times of armed conflicts. And of course, IHL as a legal system predates even the establishment of modern-day republics. No?
So, yeah, paano nakalusot, sir? Mayroong existing martial law doon sa Mindanao.
I do not know how it happened, but what I'm saying is illegal acts will happen whether or not we have intelligence communities. But perhaps, no, one thing that the military and security establishment must look into is their intelligence capability.
Thank you, sir.
Follow-up? Other issue? Alvin Baltasar.
Good morning, Secretary. Sir, may development doon sa Senate tungkol doon sa Train 2. Apparently, si Senate President Tito Soto na-enlighten na tungkol doon sa Train 2 and promised to push for the passage for the second phase of Train 2. Reaction lang, sir.
Well, nagagalak naman po kami kasi napakinggan ko yung interview na yan. No? At gaya ng sinabi ko kahapon, hindi po nagpapataw ng bagong buwis itong Train 2. Ito po yung nagbababa ng corporate income tax at inaalis din yung mga pribilehiyo na hindi pagbabayad ng ilang mga locators sa ilang mga economic zones. No? So, linelevel lang po natin ang playing field pero at the same time, binababa po natin ang tax burden ng mga korporasyon para makinabang din yung mga nagtatrabaho sa mga korporasyon na ito.
May follow-up?
So after this development, pronouncement from the Senate President himself, palagay niyo ba, sir, magiging tuloy-tuloy na? Smooth?
Gaya ng sinabi ko, kinakailangan lang i-explain ng mabuti kung ano yung objective ng Train 2 at tingin ko naman sasang-ayon ng ating mga mambabatas.
RJ?
Sir, on Boracay. Sir, given the policy of the president, which is not allowing foreign casino firms to do business on the island of Boracay, does the government expect foreign and local investors to be happy with this policy?
Well, I think what the president has said is that he will not allow casinos. All other investments are otherwise welcome into Boracay.
Why not casinos, sir?
Because the president does not like casinos as a matter of public policy. No? It is contrary to good morals. No? It encourages a vice, no? Which is gambling.
Under federalism, sir, when do we expect this? By 2021 or 2022?
Are we talking about casinos or federalism?
No,
So we're talking of a completely different topic now.
No, it's not, sir. Just follow up.
follow up. I don't understand.
Sir, under federalism kasi, local government units will have more autonomy to decide which firms to welcome in their areas, just like Boracay. Will the president intervene once they decide to welcome these casino firms?
Well, I think I do not know yet what the relationship between the law creating PAGCOR and the federal government will be, no? But under existing jurisprudence, although we have local autonomy, the court has ruled time and again, no, that because of the national franchise or charter of the PAGCOR, local governments cannot contravene or oppose, no, decisions made by PAGCOR. So sa ngayon po, yan ang batas, no? Hindi lang po natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa pag nagkaroon ng federal form of government.
Okay, sir. So you're saying that it's not sure yet whether they will have a chance under federalism?
Well, kasi under magkakaroon ng conflict of law issue dyan, no? So ano yung epekto ng mga laws gaya ng laws providing for the charter of PAGCOR doon sa mga decision ng local governments under a federal constitution. I think this will have to be resolved by the Constitutional Court that the consultative committee wishes to establish.
Thank you, sir.
May follow-up? Joy Balancio?
Sir, follow-up lang dun sa warrant of arrest kay Anti-Poverty Commissioner Secretary Lisa Masa. Ano balak na Malacañang? Will she be replaced or are you urging her to surrender?
Well, siyempre po, no, yung mga warrants of arrest naman po yan ay lawfully issued by a trial court, if I'm not mistaken, in Nueva Ecija, no? So, if they are innocent, then they should in fact surrender, recognize the jurisdiction of the court, and prove their innocence in court. That's what we expect from everyone.
Ano pong plano natin given na incumbent secretary din po siya?
Wala pa pong nababanggit ang Pangulo. Other than, we expect particularly cabinet members to adhere to the rule of law in this country.
Other issue, Christine Avendano?
So, sir, anong
Chonayu.
sir, anong status po ngayon ni Lisa Masa?
She hasn't been fired, but because she's wanted, she may become a fugitive if she doesn't surrender, no? And if she goes on a wall, absence without leave, then the president will have to decide on her continuing appointment if need be, no? Because she cannot be absent, no? Her office is very critical to the fight against poverty, and we cannot have a secretary who is a fugitive from the law.
Other issue? Same, okay. Christine.
So, sir, she's still reporting for work.
I don't know if she's reporting, but she has to surrender physically to the regional trial court, no? Because there is a warrant of arrest.
So there's no instruction for her not to go to work or something, sir?
Well, she has to heed the warrant of arrest. Not even the president can interfere in our judicial process.
When was the last time, though, did she report? When was the last time she reported for work, sir?
I do not know because I have never seen her in any cabinet meeting.
Ever since, sir?
Never. Ever since I joined the cabinet, I've not seen her attend any cabinet meeting.
But she's still part of NAPSI.
She's still part of NAPSI as far as I know, but as I said, since I came on board, I've not seen her attend any cabinet meeting.
Sir, also the militant groups are saying that the administration is politically persecuting the foreign Nayana leaders.
Well,
Any response to that?
we have to respect the judicial process. The same thing with Laila de Lima, no? You have pending cases in court, prove your innocence in court, no? That's a separate branch of government. And the task of the executive is, in fact, to implement the law. So if there are warrants of arrest, it is the task of the executive, through our law enforcement agencies, to make sure that these warrants of arrest are properly served.
So the palace had no hand in, resurrecting these cases.
Absolutely.
Especially the president has been very,
It's in court. It's been in court. And it's a warrant of arrest issued by a court, not by the executive branch. We don't have the power to issue warrants of arrest.
Thank you, sir.
Other issue? Raymond Tinasa.
Sir, yesterday, Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte gave a thank you Sara Duterte.
Sara Duterte.
Gave a thank you lance for the congressman who heed her call to support Arroyo's speakership. So, as Congressman, Minority Leader Suarez said that it's just 1+1. So actually, Inday Sara asked for the removal or ouster of Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. So is the action of the daughter sanctioned by the father?
Well, number one, I think si Mayor Sara has her own spokesperson. So I would rather that you ask this question from the spokesperson of Mayor Sara.
So being a spokesperson of the father, the president,
Well, what I know is the speaker. I think, in fact, I've revealed this in last Sunday in a news program, no, which you obviously did not watch. But I revealed that he was notified. Speaker Alvarez was notified after the rehearsals that apparently there's a move to have him removed. The president can't do anything about it, so that's it.
sir, related.
No, he wasn't notified by the president, by someone else. I will need clearance to reveal who.
Yes, but who notified officially to the
It
president?
wasn't official. It was just like parang.
That,
That's why they were prepared, no? The following day, they were ready to. They adjourned. It wasn't the palace, no. It wasn't me. It wasn't the palace, no. But I think he was informed that there is a move to remove him. No? So what happened the following day proves that he anticipated it, no, and he also prepared for it. That's why the session was opened and closed rather briefly, and the mic was turned off, no. So in other words, this is really intramurals amongst and between members of Congress. So we let it be as that. That's the position of the palace.
so does the president know about the plan or moves of her daughter calling for support for Arroyo's speakership and to ouster eventually Speaker Alvarez?
I do not know for a fact. In fact, I will ask him. That's one of the many questions I want to ask him now, no? But I do not know for a fact because remember, the president arrived on time in the SONA and he did not expect to be delayed, and he articulated that he will leave within 5 minutes if after an hour of waiting, if SONA does not proceed. So I think this is a clear indication that he did not expect any delay in the SONA.
Sir, relatedly, and what can you say to what's happening now? But it's like a circus at the House of Representatives. Wherein right now they have no minority leader. When in fact there are a lot of important legislation to be passed. So as a former congressman, are you amazed or?
Not really. All I can say is that this is an internal affair of the House. We do not interfere. Number two, there is a minority leader recognized in the plenary yesterday. That's a matter of record. And the minority leader recognized was still Congressman Danilo Suarez.
So, but ideally, what do you prefer would be the scenario? Congressman Danilo Suarez voted and campaigned for Arroyo's speakership. So is that in good taste that he will be the minority leader?
Again, Raymond, that's for the House to answer, not for the palace.
Thank you, sir.
Balik lang tayo sa Basilan. O may follow-up ka sa, Rose Novenario.
Hi sir, good morning. Sir, kasi sa mga nakaraang araw, may sinasabi si Presidente na gusto niya makipag-dialogo sa Abu Sayyaf Group. Etong pagsabog kanina sa Basilan, ano kaya yung magiging epekto nito dun sa hangarin niyang makipag-usap sa ASG?
Ang sinasabi po niya iniinganyo niya mag-surrender nga yung mga Abu Sayyaf. Kasi meron ng mga ilang Abu Sayyaf na nag-surrender na at binigyan din natin ng tulong, no? So, yung nangyari naman kanina, hindi pa po natin alam kung ano talagang circumstance, iniimbestigahan pa rin po. Pero siyempre po, no, antayin natin muna yung investigasyon at antayin natin kung ano maging reaksyon ng Pangulo dyan.
Sir, yung pag may sumuko ba, absuelto sila dun sa terror acts na ginawa nila habang sila aktibo ng miyembro ng ASG?
Wala naman pong binibigyan ng absolute, ano ba tawag dito, hindi pardon, but the one that predates the commission of the act, no? And wala pa pong ginaganong-ganon, no? Wala pang binibigyan ng amnesty, no? At I don't think the president is contemplating amnesty for them. That's the only way to erase their criminal liability.
Sir, thank you.
Okay, MPC questions? Joseph Morong. Microphone, Raymond.
Sir, yung sa Cebu, there was a counselor who was ambushed, but yung tao niya was able to fire back. At ang napatay doon ay isang police na anti-drug operative. Your comments first.
I'm not sure about the facts about what happened in Cebu.
That's the fact, sir.
Ang napatay,
There's
police.
a counselor, and then nakasakay siya sa FJ Cruiser. Tapos may isang motor na lumapit sa kanya, may sakay na dalawa. Tapos nung na-sense nila na they were going to be ambushed, nagpaputok, napatay yung isa doon sa nakasakay sa motor, and that was proven to be a police operative. And the companion was arrested.
Let's wait for the official investigation before we comment.
But
I'm
the-
sure this will be investigated by police authorities. No?
Okay, if proven to be, sir, a police operative, does it lend credence to the fact, to the criticism that some police may be behind some EJK killings, some EJK?
I do not know the circumstance why they were tailing this individual if they were. Perhaps they have personal knowledge of a crime being committed. No? So we cannot conclude anything on the basis of information that's been stated. No? Let's wait for the official investigation.
Okay, MPC, no more questions. Vance, Rose Novenario.
Hello, sir. Ulit.
Yes.
Sir, halos araw-araw may adverse report yung COA tungkol sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Alam po ba ito ni Presidente at ano po yung utos niya na tungkol dito sa mga opisyal na to, considering po na lagi niyang sinasabi na yung anti-corruption campaign ay tinututukan ng kanyang administrasyon?
Now, alam niyo po, I will make a distinction, no? Kasi talaga bang mayroong mga adverse reports talaga yan. As an activist in the past, I always relied on COA findings. Now, depende po kasi yan, meron na po yung preliminary report at merong final report. Yung final report, pag meron ng disallowance, merong recommendation na dapat ibalik. Kapag hindi ibinalik yan, then meron ng krimen na nagawa. Because the elements of the crime, especially damage to government, would already be present insofar as hindi nila ibinalik yung sabi ng COA na dapat ibalik. So, krimen na po yan. One of the elements of, graft na yung mangyayari dyan, no? So, kapag hindi po sinunod ng mga taong gobyerno ang COA findings, sila po ay makakasuhan ng graft and corruption, no? So, depende naman po yan, no? So far, ang mga nare-report naman, ay natanggal na sa gobyerno. If you're referring, for instance, to the DOT, wala na naman po sa gobyerno si Secretary Wanda. If you're referring to the office of Cesar Montaño, wala na rin sa gobyerno si Cesar Montaño, no? So, bahala na po sila if they will heed the COA recommendation, no? For instance, yung pagbabalik ng pondo, dahil pag hindi nila hinid yun, then it will be referred already to the Ombudsman for proper action.
Sir, follow-up lang po. Sa interview kagabi ng GMA News kay Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, binanggit niya na kaya raw hindi maibalik ng bitag o ni Ben Tulfo yung 60 million dahil may kahati daw po siyang taga-PCOO. So ano po, may panawagan pa tayo dun sa kahit sinong tinutukoy ng taga-PCOO na magbalik na rin nung kumbaga naging komisyon niya dun sa kinita nung bitag?
Well, sana po isa publiko naman yan kasi unfair naman sa PCOO na yung buong PCOO is subjected to this kind of criticism. No? Sana pangalangan, mag-file ng reklamo, ilagay sa affidavit nang maimbestigahan ng tama at mabuti.
So hinihikayat niyo yung PACC, yung Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission, na imbestigahan yung sinasabi niya, no?
Well, hinihikayat ko po pati si Attorney Topacio as an officer of the court to reveal kung sino itong sinasabi niya nakahati para naman maimbestigahan at hindi naman yung buong PCOO mabansagan.
So, thank you.
Okay, follow-up. Joseph Morong.
Sir, dun lang sa statement niya na because they're out of office already, na bahala na sila to heed?
They have to heed the call of the COA. For instance, kapag sinabi na disallowed, that means they have to return. And if they don't return, yan na yung damage to government na one of the elements of graft. No? So, if they don't heed the recommendation that the particular expenditure is disallowed and they must return, then the COA report will now be used to prove an element of graft.
And they can be charged, of course, even after na mawala sila sa
Of
position.
course, leaving office, public office, does not extinguish criminal responsibility and liability.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vance Fernandez. Microphone, please.
Hi, Vance.
Ay, sir, wala nang battery. Hi, sir. Good
Yes, ma'am.
afternoon. My pleasure to ask questions.
Good morning pala.
Sir, when will the President call for caucus for the unify of the PDP Laban? Do you have any idea?
Caucus.
Caucus,
Well, gaya po ng sinabi ko kahapon, no? May spokesperson po ang PDP Laban. So, iwanan ko na po yan sa spokesperson ng PDP Laban, no? Or better ask po yung mga officers ng PDP Laban.
Sir,
Wala po akong official na authority to speak on behalf of PDP Laban, even if the President remains chairman of PDP Laban.
Sir, on another issue, kasi on August 6 yung BOL ceremony, do you have any idea kung anong mga agenda to be followed?
Wala naman po yun. Ano lang, reenactment
Ganun
lang
lang
yun.
yun, sir?
Oo. Yan yung seremonya that we were deprived of, no? Kasi the ceremony was supposed to be in Congress itself, no? But since hindi nangyari, so I'm sure the members of Congress who supported the bill will be invited, the authors as well as the stakeholders, including the Bangsamoro Transition Committee.
Bakit kami hindi
Commission.
kasama, sir?
Kasama kayong mga media. It will be open for
Yes, sir.
media coverage.
On another issue, sir, are you in favor of bawas presyo bill na pinapanukala po ni Senator Bam Aquino?
Ano po
Kasi
yun?
bawas presyo bill.
Ano yung bawal press law?
Babawasan yung presyo bill.
Hindi ko pa po alam kung ano yung bill na yon. Siguro po titignan ko. Ask me next time.
Oo, kasi para mababa yung mga presyo ng bilihin.
Alam niyo po yung mga price control bill historically has never proven to be effective. Kasi kapag you interfere with supply and demand, mauubos lang talaga yung supply, no? So balik na naman tayo sa problema na kapag konti ang supply, lalong tataas ang presyo.
Okay, thank you. Vance, Chona.
Sir, sabi po kahapon ni General Albayalde na they're going to recalibrate the Oplan Tokhang and the campaign against illegal drugs will be relentless and chilling. Hindi ba to cause of concern?
No, coming from General Albayalde, who has committed himself and has proven himself to be operating within the rule of law, I welcome that remark. It will be relentless, but it will be within the rule of law. Obviously, I'm a big fan of General Albayalde.
Okay,
Okay.
Christine.
So what do you mean by chilling?
Ask him
How-
po.
No, I mean, because he said, well, the president said it's going to be chilling. So how would
It will
we
be
define that?
relentless. Basta it will be the full force of the law. So criminals, there's reason for you to be chilled. But for law-abiding individuals, you're secure in your life, liberty, and papers, na? Okay?
Last question,
Ako,
Rose
palagi na lang isa
Novenario.
talaga. Okay?
Isa na lang, sir. Oo. Sir, si Lisa Masa, as cabinet rank naman po yung posisyon niya, ano po yung, may assurance po ba kayo na pag lumutang siya, bibigyan niyo siya ng legal assistance o bibigyan niyo siya ng security o kung ano yung befitting naman po sa isang cabinet member?
Well, ang alam ko lang po is cabinet members must lead by way of example, no, that they adhere to the rule of law, no. Siguro naman po hindi siya madidihado because she's a member of the cabinet. I do not know if we're in a position to give her legal assistance because the choice of counsel is hers, no. We cannot impose our will. We could recommend if she wants, but I don't think the courts will violate any of her due process rights because, as you said, she's a former lawmaker and an incumbent secretary.
So, ano halimbawa, sir, security, magkakaroon ba siya ng security?
I don't think we
Magiging
can
secured ba siya?
give her security, but we can possibly, they can give her similar detention facility as what Laila de Lima has.
Okay,
I
so
do not know if they can be roommates with Laila de Lima. I don't know if they will like each other, but similar treatment perhaps.
sorry sir ha, meron pang halos 3 o 2. Ace Romero, please.
Secretary, given the allegations against Chairman Masa, does she still enjoy the trust and confidence of the President?
As I said, unless the president fires her, the presumption is there. But we'll find out soon enough.
Thank
Christine?
you, Secretary.
Clarify, you said na parang you haven't seen Chairman Masa attend the cabinet meetings. Ano ba, sir? Yung practice ba, do you have to be invited to the cabinet meetings or required because you're part of the...
I do not know, but I see, for instance, the presidential advisor on Visayas, no, regularly, presidential advisor on overseas workers, TESDA, CHED, no, they're always present in the meetings, but I've not seen Liza Masa even once in the cabinet
Pero
meetings.
do you need to be invited, sir?
Well, there perhaps is an invitation because we receive notices for the next cabinet meeting. No? That's how you know when the next cabinet meeting is. But I do not know if in the past NAPSI, the NAPSI office chief attends cabinet meetings.
Okay. Last question, Joseph Morong.
The clarification, is the palace going to help her?
Well, she's not asked for assistance. So, and of course, this is a legal problem. So this is something that she has to decide for herself.
So if she asks,
then we'll see what we can do.
okay. Is there any message, any call for her now?
Well, she has to respect the rule of law. I ask her to surrender, face the charges against her, prove her innocence, and I'm sure that she has no reason to worry about the fact that our courts can be relied upon for an impartial decision.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Malacañang Press Corps.
Thank you. See you next Friday in Bukidnon. This Friday. Walang Thursday eh. I'm on leave.
Okay.
I'm on leave.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.